Hi everybody and welcome to a new video. Today we're talking all about film scanning. For those who know, film scanning at home can be a little bit of a hassle. Now depending on the setup and the software you have, it can take quite a while to scan a roll of 35mm film. But one of the main selling points of SmartConvert is that it's really fast in taking the pictures in that you scanned from a setup and convert it on the fly. But before we dive in, let's shoot some 35mm film. Now in order to test SmartConvert, I shot two rolls of 35mm film, one in color and one in black and white. So one day I took my Canonet QL17 with me, loaded with Ilford Pan 100. And for color I chose the Canon EOS 100 with the 50mm 1.8 and the roll of Kodak Gold. Out to the city of Zurich and took some street shots on a very sunny day, and also went to the botanical garden, took some pictures there with the Canon EOS 100. And now that we're back and developed the film at home, we are ready to scan the film. Let's go and I'll show you my scanning setup. Okay, so now you see my current setup is my Sony A7 III with a Canon 100mm, and we are scanning on an E-tone light box with a 35mm film holder. And on the right side here, I'm gonna hang the film. Let me just show that to you. So the film is already dry, and what I'm gonna do is I have this hinge system here where I can hook up an entire roll of 35mm film. Then I take one end of the 35mm film and slot it through the film holder. Let me show you that. Alright, so I slot the film through the film holder here. Then as soon as the film comes over here, it lands on my microfiber setting here. And as soon as I'm finishing with the entire roll, I'm going to my cutting setup and I'm gonna cut it into strips of 6. Now for those who don't know, SmartConvert is from the company Filmomat. They make a fully automatic film processing machine and other very cool stuff. And as I said, the film conversion software SmartConvert. So for full transparency, Filmomat provided me a license for SmartConvert. However, they haven't paid me for this review and have no control over what I say. All opinions in these videos are my own. Alright, let's go a little bit into the software. So SmartConvert is a standalone software. So most other software need Lightroom or Photoshop in order to work. You can start out the program and start scanning and converting. It's really made for speed. So you can predefine a hot folder, which means when you scan your images from your DSLR setup or your flatbed scan into a folder, SmartConvert recognizes that there's a new file and automatically imports it and converts it into a positive image. And one of my favorite features is the auto crop function. So the algorithm is really good in detecting the borders of the film, and in 9 out of 10 cases it crops it perfectly. And one other cool feature is the flat field correction. All camera lenses have a slight vignette to the edges. And SmartConvert has a built-in feature where you can give it a plain picture of your light source without the film, and SmartConvert will use it to remove any vignetting from your scanned images. So you can give SmartConvert any common RAW or TIFF files, whether you're scanning with a camera setup or a flatbed scanner, SmartConvert can handle it. And if you have a look at the UI, you can see it's really inspired by the efficiency of the industrial film scanners like the Fuji Frontier. SmartConvert also uses keyboard shortcuts, but if it's too much for a hassle for you, Filmomat also have a smart control panel where you have dedicated keys to make the conversion even more fun. But I think it's best if I show you in real time so you can see how fast the software is and to show you all the functionalities. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start up the Sony remote. This is what I need to actually send the RAW files from the camera to my Mac. And as soon as the frame is set, I'm going to press the shutter. And if we jump into SmartConvert now, you can see already imported the file. The way it's set up in SmartConvert is if you go into the settings, advanced settings, you can use a hot folder. You predefine a folder where SmartConvert keeps scanning for new images, and as soon as a new image is in that folder, it automatically imports that into the program and converts it. And also with the remote app from Sony, I predefine where I want to save the images taken, and it's the same folder as in SmartConvert. I'm just going to show you with this first image what options you have, and we go through that one by one. On the left side, you're going to see all the thumbnails from the hot folder, so all the images that it recognizes, and imported it to SmartConvert. And in the middle panel, you're going to see the converted image. And on the right side, you're going to have all the options that you have to play around with. So the first section here is if you don't have predefined a hot folder, so you can add images, clear all the images from the current session, you can skip images and reset the settings. Let's jump to the second panel, which is L, mirror, and R. L stands for rotate left, like that, and mirror stands for you want to flip the image horizontally, and R for rotate right. Now, Filmomat sells the SmartConvert control panel, where you have dedicated hardware for all these functions, but you can also use your keyboard, like with the arrow keys left and right. You can rotate it counterclockwise, and with the arrow to the right, you can rotate it clockwise. Then let's jump down to the second last section here, because I think you want to use that first. In this section, you have the auto crop function, which works amazingly on 35mm. So if you press auto crop, the program tries to find border and crop right into it. And if not, you always have in the main section, in the middle part, you have the edit crop, where you can click on it and you see what SmartConvert actually is doing. So for this instance, it's taking a little bit too much of the border on the right, push it a little bit to this side, make it even a little bit smaller. And if you want to lock in the aspect ratio, you have a drop-down menu here where you can choose the aspect ratios 2:3, 6:5 format, or the 6:7 format. So now you see it's locked in, and we just drag it out as much as possible. This is fine, and then I press apply. So now I'm just gonna speed run and scanning through all the images, and you're gonna see on the screen how fast it's gonna pop up. So I rearrange the windows. On the right hand side, you're going to see the remote app from Sony, and on the left side, you're going to see SmartConvert, and let's go. All right, I'm done with scanning the entire roll of Kodak Gold, and it took me less than 15 minutes to do so. So we jump right into SmartConvert. You can see on the left side the thumbnails, and if we hold down Command and the arrow to the right, we can jump right into the next image, rotate it, and auto crop. And if we want to apply the auto crop to all, so we can press the first image, press Shift, press and hold Shift, and click on the last image, so they are all selected, and press on the auto crop function, and it's auto cropping every image on the roll. So we're getting into the main two panels of SmartConvert. So we have the three main sliders, contrast, density, and saturations, and they are controlled. So we simply press the up arrow, we're gonna increase the density, and we press down arrow, we're gonna decrease the density. And if we hold down Command and press the up arrow, we're gonna increase the contrast and decrease the contrast with the arrow down. If we hold down Alt and press up, we're gonna increase the contrast, and we decrease the contrast with holding down Alt and arrow down. So let's reset those again. And forgot to mention the keyboard shortcut for the crop is C. So if you press C, you're gonna go right into the auto crop mode. So if you're happy with your contrast density and saturation, we're gonna jump down to the cyan, magenta, and yellow values. And these are controlled on the keyboard with QA for the cyan. So if you press Q, you're going up with the cyan value. And if you press A, we decrease the cyan value and getting more into the red. And same with magenta, we increase magenta with W and decrease it with S. And yellow is E for increasing and D for decreasing. So set back. If we want to jump right to the next one, we press Command and right arrow. So once we're happy with all the images, I can export all the images, pressing that and choosing the correct folder, open it, and then we can decide if we want to export it only in JPEGs and if we want to have a TIFF file with it. So I only want to have the JPEGs, and we're going to resize it for social media, and we define the long edge here as a minimum of 2048 pixels. And then we just let the program do its thing.
Hey, it's Chris from the future here. I totally forgot to record the voiceover part for the black and white conversion. So the process remains the same. If you have a hot folder assigned, the images from your camera scan or from your flatbed scanner are gonna be imported directly to SmartConvert, and you're going through the same process as with color film. So you start cropping, rotate it, and then adding more density, contrast, or saturation. And because it's black and white, you don't have to adjust any of the color sliders unless you're going for a certain style. And then you can export the images. So here comes the B-roll from the scanning of the black and white film.
So now that we're done with scanning, what are my first impressions of SmartConvert? So first of all, it really speeds up my workflow. I sometimes develop all of my film at once in batches, and once they're all dry, I can sit down and scan through all the rolls of my film, and SmartConvert does the rest. Yes, sometimes the crop is a little bit off and you have to sometimes adjust it manually, but other than that, it's really good in recognizing all the edges of the frame. And with the color panel, it's really clean and slick. You don't spend too much time correcting the colors, because right off the gate, SmartConvert does a really good job with color conversion. But for me, where it really shines are the black and white conversions. So you don't have to fiddle with the color panel too much. You sometimes add a little bit more density, and you can really scan a roll of black and white film in no time. So yeah, these are my first impressions of the SmartConvert software. If you have any questions, don't forget to put them down in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I see you guys in the next video.